Hello, on this lovely sunny winter's day. This is our first talk without tea, as we're temporarily closed to try and get on top of COVID-19, and we're dealing with winter pruning, and winter is January and February. These are the only things that you should be doing this month. Lesley.
Okie dokie, and also just to let you know, we are being very COVID secure. We are in a bubble together, we're actually married, and our camera lady is at least 3 meters away. In fact, I think she's gone inside because it's raining. So, what is pruning? Well, in the wild, nothing gets pruned, it doesn't matter. But in a garden, you want everything to perform to its maximum. So pruning, technically, is cutting off selected parts of a plant to either improve the flower, the fruiting, or stem colour. And today we're actually just looking at the things that you will be doing now and in the next month. And Dougal has chosen this berberis, which is severely overgrown.
It's a purple leaf berberis. It looks fine when it's got leaves on. So I'm going to start attacking this bush. I mean, the great thing is I can see it's a real tangle. I've seen a few branches that are damaged and not very happy looking. I'm going to cut those out. And what I'm going to do is pick out any of the branches that are dead or diseased, or showing signs of fungus attack. And then I'm going to take out all the ones that are crossing and going the wrong way. So I have one here that's going right back into the middle of the bush instead of out. What I want to end up with is a lovely shaped bush, fairly open, each branch having its own space, and something that looks quite attractive in the winter. So I'm just at the moment using secateurs, but when I get to a big fat branch, I think it's not good to force the secateurs onto it, and I'm going to use bigger loppers that will just slice through that. The other thing I could use is a little hand saw that'll just get into fiddly bits and take out fatter branches.
Having the right bit of equipment is absolutely, it's so significant. The other thing Dougal is wearing is gauntlet gloves, because this is a berberis and it's really, really jaggy. The sort of thing that you can be doing at this time of year is anything that is deciduous. In other words, it's dropped its leaves, because you can actually see what's going on with it. So berberis is ideal. You could be doing roses as well. And particularly if something's got really tangled and overgrown here. You just have to remember your D's, dead, disease, dying, duplicating, and get that sorted. I always have to have little sort of rhyming things to help me. The other thing you're also doing is you're pruning for grace and for beauty. We are not going to make this into a ball. That's what some gardeners used to do, I think, just to show where they've been, quite honestly. We're not topiarising this, we're just actually making it look even more beautiful. And of course it'll flower better this year as well, if there's anything left of it.
So you'll probably come back to me in 10 minutes time when I've made quite an impression on this bush, and hope there's some bush left for you to see. There you are, 15 minutes later. There's not a lot left. Remember, I'm taking out all the duplicating and damaged wood, but I'm also taking out the really weak, pathetic bits, because I want it to grow strongly from strong branches. And this is when Lesley will always say, "My God, what's he left?" But you'll find, come the spring, this has got roots full of food, and the growth on this will be dramatic. And all these nice sturdy branches will be covered in new shoots and lovely purpley coloured leaves, and they'll all say, "Oh, well done, Dougal," I hope. You prune to make a nice shape. You can imagine butterflies flying in between all these. It's just hit a little one here that I'm taking off, and it's going to become a lovely dome, very elegant, well structured, and come June it's going to look wonderful, and it'll need very little pruning for the next few years.
The worst thing you can do with pruning is you might lose a year's flowers, but if you actually want to get your shrub back into shape, then it's really worth doing. So what other things could you be doing at this time of year?
You can do climbing roses, bush roses. These are all things with no leaves on, don't touch anything that's got evergreen leaves on. It's not ready for it yet. You could do wisteria, which we have over there. You could do Virginia creeper, and it's a great time. You can see what you're doing. All these plants are asleep, they're dormant. Once they start growing, they've got a lot of food in their roots, and they might put on more growth than you want. And so in June you might come back to me and say, oh, I only need 1 or 2 shoots here and I've got 5, I'll just nip out the weakest.
I bet you're wondering what on earth I've been doing in all this. Well, it's jolly jaggy and I didn't have gloves, but do you know what I always end up doing? All the tidying up. And this is what you can do in January and February. We will come back and we'll do another of these. Hopefully it won't be as wet or as cold, and we'll start showing you what you can be doing in March onwards.